Thank you.
Great. So you're welcome to the 38th seminar of the International Interdisciplinary PhD in Progress Seminar Series Phase 3, organized by the Global South Network. Let me start the session by thanking the organizer of this weekly seminar series, Dr. Nauman Riet, lecturer in law at Leicester Law School, and the founder and convener of the Global South Network. My name is Moohyung Cho, and I'm an assistant professor in political science at Ewha Women's University in South Korea, and today I will chair this session. And I'm happy to introduce Dr. Marianna Cavada, who will be the discussant for today's session. She is a senior lecturer at the MA Architecture and Urbanism and a registered architect at Manchester Metropolitan University. Her work focuses on international agendas, minimizing inequality, incorporating decolonization into design for various contexts, and responding to local cultures and challenges while considering global priorities such as the SDGs, the climate crisis, and global health. She is a part of the Caring with Cities team, a British Academy-funded project, where she contributed to the Lancaster case in collaboration with Lancaster City Vision, exploring policy design for caring practices beyond the institutional care. Before her academic career, she participated in large urban development projects in China, including the Twin Cities development in Kunming, as well as projects in Shanghai and Xiamen. She also worked on the Ar-Fala project, a 12.5 million square meter development for local populations in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Prior to her international experience, she worked with architectural organizations in the UK, including Atkins and other architectural practices. Saloni Pradhan is the peer commentator for today's session, and she is a PhD candidate at the School of Politics and International Relations at the University of Leicester. Her research interests lie in religious politics, nationalism, and political socialization in India. Finally, our guest speaker for today's session is Sneha Singh, a PhD candidate at Chanakya National Law University, Patna in India. Sneha worked as a junior legal research consultant at the National Human Rights Commission in New Delhi and as a legal consultant at the Education Department in the government of Bihar. So Sneha will present a project titled Global Perspectives on Smart City Governance, a comparative analysis of the United Kingdom, South Korea, and India. So Sneha, you have 30 to 35 minutes for presentation, and then I will give you a reminder when your presentation is 2 minutes left. And then the presentation will be followed by 5 to 7 minutes for comments and questions from the discussant and peer commentator, and then 15 minutes for the questions and answer sessions from attendees. Okay, so Sneha, the floor is now yours.
Thank you. So, I would like to wish good afternoon to respectable and reputed chair and all other members present here today. So, I'll be presenting on a topic which is a part of my thesis. My thesis title is Developing Dimensions in the Governance of Smart Cities in India, a Critical Study. But the topic today I'll be presenting is Global Perspective on Smart City Governance, a comparative analysis of the United Kingdom, South Korea, and India. So we'll begin with the contents. I'll be dealing with the theoretical background, research gap and research question, as well as research design methodology adopted for this part of the thesis, and preliminary findings, that is comparative analysis. Now we'll look into the theoretical foundation of smart city governance. So urbanization has led to the development of smart city all across the world. When we look at the evolution of smart city, it can be traced back to the 1970s when Los Angeles organized its first project, a cluster analysis of Los Angeles project. It was the first urban big data project. Then later in the year 1994, Amsterdam was recognized as the world's first smart city. It was also known as Virtual Digital Smart City. In the year 2009, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act introduced plans for smart grids and sensors. Later, all the nations started investing in the smart city project. For example, in the year 2011, with over 227 smart cities in line for development. China introduced its first batch of smart city project. Other nations have also begun introducing projects to build smart cities through new technology. Japan introduced several projects in the year 2019 with the help of Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. Italy's Metropolitan Cities initiatives focuses on empowering disadvantaged communities and promoting urban services regeneration. India's Smart Cities mission was launched in the year 2015 to work upon 100 smart cities aiming to improve the quality of life in urban areas. Now we'll now we'll get to know what is a smart city, definition of smart city. So, IBM has defined a smart city as one connects information to better understand and regulate its operation and make the most use of the resources that are available to it. In general term, it means to include all the factors which is essential for sustainable development. A smart city contains many and different definitions. It can be perceived in many ways according to the needs of society, and it can be inculcated also in many ways according to the development of the society. In general term, it means to include all the factors which is essential for sustainable development. Thus, the smart city is an initiative that requires effective implementation of all the components of smart cities such as city administration, sustainable living, smart infrastructure, smart transportation, smart energy, smart healthcare, and smart technology integrating ICTs. Now we'll look into the governance framework of smart cities, that is United Kingdom. So a UK government follows UK government follows National Smart Cities Plan, emphasis on digital and data-driven solution and investment in infrastructure and technology. It embraces smart cities by technology innovation. So the funding is done by European Union and UK government itself for a huge amount for the development of smart cities. This, mm, till date, more than 17 smart city projects and 47 cities have been made through the UK government, and it's still growing. The smart city structure of UK focuses on four criteria on basis of which development takes place. These are first of them are essential services like emergency management such as healthcare, smart transportation, which includes urban mobility, urban mobility, sorry, broad spectrum, which include all the civil duties, waste management and monitoring activities. And fourth is business ecosystem, which includes business activity. The most common type are the provisions of open data and creation of business ecosystem as a primary driver of smart city in UK. It has also reported the most prevalent form of emergent smart city technology by rolling out 5G and increased educational programs alongside the proliferation of Internet of Things and electrical vehicle usage. Now we'll discuss key legislation that has been used in the development of smart city. So first of them is the Digital Economy Act 2017. It is an act aimed at addressing key issues related to electronic communication services or the digital economy. Key provisions include tougher sentences for copyright offenders, age verification for pornographic websites, a minimum broadband speed of 10 megabits per second is available for the citizens, increased data sharing, and a general overhaul of UK telecom industry regulation. The second policy is National Planning Policy Framework, which was established in the year 2012, and since then it has been leveling up and reforming. Now it sets out the government's planning policies for England and how these are expected to be applied. It was introduced to level up housing and communication. It includes achieving sustainable development, developing healthy and safe communities, plan making, decision making, protecting natural environment, protecting historic places, and sustainable use of minerals, etc. GDPR and data protection laws. So, EU's General Data Protection Regulation is considered as the strongest data privacy laws in the world, and it is used as a key principle for the for the implementation of smart cities in UK. Its key privacy principles are data minimization, accuracy, storage limitation, accountability, and data subject rights. Now we'll look into a smaller initiative which has been taken by London as a smart city governance. So, one of the initiatives taken by London Smart City is Crowd Fund London platform, which was introduced, which allows anyone to propose and develop an idea for a neighborhood project, then coordinate local support, resources, and funding through a public campaign. The mayor then pledges funds to live campaign and supports local groups to make their ideas a reality by understanding the needs of users across communities in London. Overall, when we look upon the governance framework of smart cities of UK, it has mainly focused upon transportation, public Wi-Fi and connectivity initiatives, environmental monitoring systems. Smart London Board has been formed for the governance and policy framework, smart street projects, EV vehicles, data platforms, and energy initiatives. Now we'll look to the governance framework of smart cities in South Korea. South Korea has implemented numerous projects and is a pioneer in the concept of smart city governance. The goal was to establish a sector by means of interconnecting ICT and to find solutions to urban problems and to develop new employment opportunities. So it offered neutral ground on which both the public and private sector come together in building of smart city by providing an open platform. The four primary features of Korean Smart City initiative includes research and development, which provides smart city pilot program for implementation on national level, and smart city competition, where private companies can receive up to 20 million USD for 3 years to develop smart city projects. Secondly, urban development programs at local levels. Thirdly, use of mobile phones, which transform the whole smart city governance level. Fourthly, development of industrialization by means of IT sector. The success of smart city depends on the initiative taken by government, the formation of specialized smart city teams within local administration and citizen engagement. One of the major challenge in smart city governance of Korea is increase in cost of living, which is still uh, prevailing. The policies regarding smart cities are adaptable according to the needs and can shift in accordance with the goals of either the city or the nation. So, when now we'll look into the role of Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport in the governance of framework of smart city in South Korea. Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Technology is a part of plan to take action for the maintenance of older city by implementing smart city projects. So Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport has aimed to pick more than 100 existing cities and assist in making them smart through the use of two primary objects, namely thematic smart cities and smart city challenge. This program began in the year 2018. This program intends to make cities more livable and competitive with the help of local government and citizen participation. Each year, Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and the Transport chooses four districts for which it will provide financial support in order to assist with the development and execution of the master plan in those areas. Now we'll look into the legal framework of Korean smart cities, which is Ubiquitous City Act 2013. So the U-City, we can also call it U-City Act. So U-City Act 2013, the law of smart city creation and the promotion of industries are the three primary laws that govern the operation of smart city in South Korea. The U-City Act is a comprehensive legislation which put an emphasis on increasing both the city competitiveness and its quality of life by concentrating on its infrastructure, technology, and services. The concept of ubiquitous computing and the development of urban information systems were the driving forces behind the conception of U-City. The funding under the Act is allotted by the government as a part of developmental project financial implication. It is the only source of revenue for the development of smart cities. This is one of the other reasons why Korea was able to construct a large number of U cities in a very short amount of time. Privacy laws are separately given under the Act, mentioned under the Act. This Act also addresses information protection and information technology security concerns that may arise during the development, construction, and operation of the U-City Act. So, U-City Act resulted from the prevailing Act, which was Smart City Act. U-City Act was comprehensive act which gave a boost to the governance of framework of smart cities in South Korea. Now we'll look into the governance framework of smart cities in India. So Smart Cities in India was introduced by the Smart Cities Mission 2015. 100 cities was selected through a challenge for smart city competition in the year 2015. These cities are implemented on the basis of specific guidelines issued by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Formation of smart cities in India is done by all the three tiers of government as well as other actors such as private shareholders to achieve global standard of living. The government, it is not for the first time that government took a stand to develop smart cities. The government has been making reforms since 90s by bringing 74th Amendment and introducing local self-help government, although the results were uneven, which resulted in the smart cities mission. So Smart Cities Mission was launched by central government through a competition to give higher livability index, economic stability and sustainability by adopting new modes of IT, digitalization and improved governance. 100 cities were chosen to make the existing cities smart by means of area-based development, PAN development, greenfield development. These developments were later carried out through different schemes such as Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, which was embedded under the SCM mission. The funding and other plan of action is decided by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. It also initiated to incorporate SPVs, that is Special Purpose Vehicle. It is a company formed to fulfill a specific purpose and then it is dissolved when the purpose is fulfilled. It evolved as a new governance structure to tackle the challenges of present governance system that was prevailing in the governance structure of smart cities in India. The Special Purpose Vehicle is governed by the Companies Act 2013 and has decision-making power and other managerial powers. Now we'll have a look into the SPVs, that is Smart Cities Special Purpose Vehicle under Companies Act 2013. In the development of smart cities, major power in form of rights and obligations have been given to the corporate body, Special Purpose Vehicle. Many power of local urban body was also transferred to the SPVs. Somehow it was in the contradiction of the 74th Constitutional Amendment, which was established to give power to the local self-help group, local urban government municipality. So here is the problem which arises in the governance structure. First problem which arises in the governance structure of the smart city. SPV is a function SPV, each smart city is designated as a SPV and its function is to plan, appraise, approve, release funds, manage, operate and monitor the development of smart city projects of each city. The SPVs is a limited liability company formed through the equity contributions from the both state and the central government. It is based on the guidelines issued by the central government. Investment is made by the central government, state government and urban local bodies in the ratio of 50:50. Central government has main control over the working and management of SPVs. Public-private partnership or private financial institution can act as a shareholders in the SPVs. Each SPVs has their own management structure, including a full-time chief executing officer. It is appointed as head of the SPVs by the authorization of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. In addition to CEO and other functional direction, the board of directors must have at least one person from each of the following levels of government, that is central government, state government, ULBs, and independent directors. The chairperson of the special purpose vehicle will be either the divisional commissioner, collector, municipal commissioner, or chief executive of the urban development authority. For the purpose of planning, developing, and carrying out the implementation of project, the SPVs can appoint project management consultant. The government should follow a transparent and fair procedure according to the model framework given by MOUD for Smart City project. The model framework includes includes to mention the MOA and AO of AAO, Article Memorandum of Association and Article of Association for each company. SPVs can also seek consultancy from a list of private firms mentioned by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. Now we'll look into two successful smart cities of India, that is Bhubaneswar and Ahmedabad, as smart cities. Ahmedabad Smart Cities incorporates SPVs with strong municipal administration. It has utilized development programs run by Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority (AMTS) BRT system, that is Bus Rapid Transport System. It also uses information control centers and National Urban Transport Helpline smart transport system to connect with the citizens for effective result. When the second smart city is Bhubaneswar, it is also known as Temple City of India, and it has been awarded as Best City Smart City Award for Community Mobilization and Development Initiatives earlier in past few years. As it is a tourist place, governance focuses on smart technology and smart destination. The city's economic condition can be improved through tourism with Buddhist and Jain religious sites and Kalinga-style temple architecture. Bhubaneswar Smart City proposal was chosen as part of the Smart City Mission initiative, and its strategic plan is built on responsive governance, transit-oriented development, fiscal sustainability, infrastructure, and socio-economic development. Now, after going through the literature, I came across these research gaps. So, for the management of sustainability, one of the most important challenges is increase in the urban population and its consequences on environment. But after going through the literature, I came to across the feature that it has not been studied in depth. Secondly, citizens' perception plays an important role in developing smart cities. There are not many empirical studies, focusing on human rights and inclusion of marginal section of people and analyzing the human rights implications of smart cities. Although current literature has examined smart city technological aspects as well as other aspects, a notable gap exists in the lack of comparative study that investigate different governance models varying socio-economic and political nation. This study addresses the gap by examining the implementation, regulation, and governance of smart city projects across different nations. The research question for this part of my thesis is: to what extent can the experience of developed nations inform and influence the formulation of effective policies and practices for smart city initiatives in other regions, particularly in developing countries? And the research methodology adopted in this part of my thesis is doctrinal in nature and focuses mainly on the comparative analysis based on the primary and secondary sources available in the resource pool, such as internet databases, newspaper articles, governmental sites, etc. Now I'll look into the preliminary findings, and it results into the comparative analysis. I have taken five parameters to govern the comparative analysis. Firstly, it is governance structure. So, in UK, National Smart Cities Plan lays emphasis on digital and data-driven solution. Enactment of Digital Economy Act 2017 and National Planning Policy Framework has been adopted to govern the smart cities of United Kingdom. South Korea's smart cities governance was initially operated under the Smart City Act, which only covered a limited new city project. It played limited role in the development of all the smart city components, but after the year 2013, U-City Act was enacted. It included development of old as well as new cities South Korea's smart city development is a comprehensive plan designated under Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Technology and was approved by Mayor and U-City Committee at each and every stage. It includes all the provisions from planning, construction, technological innovation, implementation, evaluation with keeping in mind the privacy policy which has separate provisions mentioned in the U-City Act. In India, SPVs for each city has been incorporated under Companies Act 2013 in for the implementation of Smart Cities mission. Ministry of Housing and Urban Development provides smart city guidelines by which mission involves all the three. It is a binding document to development of for the development of SCM. Indian Smart Cities mission involves all the three government, that is central, state and urban local government, to take part in the development project by giving more flexibility and power of decision making with the SPVs, that is special purpose vehicle or the company. But the main authority and deciding factor will be with the central government, although it has comprised a single SPVs for implementing smart cities mission. But due to lack of clear demarcation of powers and function of these bodies, there is overlapping and conflict between them. Now we'll look into the financial implication. In UK, the funds are made available to European Union as well as the UK government. South Korea funding for smart city development in Korea is issued by Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Technology under the U-City Act. Being a comprehensive plan, funds are allotted by the government as single source with the help of municipal council. This is also one of the reasons for the success of smart city development projects in Korea. In India, the funds are allotted as a centrally sponsored scheme with an estimated amount of 15 million USD initial fund allotted by central government. The same amount is to be issued by state and urban local body together. The other means of fund generation are taxes, municipal bonds, funds allotted under different schemes which falls under the purview of SCM, taxes on lands, etc. SCM, that is Smart Cities Mission, also encourages private as well as foreign investor as it will be beneficial for marginalized society. PPPs, that is public-private investment, are considered as viable option for generating funds. A stable financial plan is essential to get desired result to achieve Smart Cities Mission completion on time. Business model, the third parameter. UK and South Korea does not follow any specific business model in the development of smart cities. In India, public-private partnership model is followed to implement the developmental project in SCM. As such, no particular business model has been specified in the official guidelines issued by the government. Fourthly, the fourth parameter is smart city components. In UK aim to meet development in all the criteria which has been mentioned earlier in the smart cities definition. It has implemented Digital Economy Act 2017, Transportation by Urban Mobility Laws and Transport Act, and Automated and Electric Vehicle Act 2018, and Data Privacy and Security. It has also launched environmental monitoring system and energy initiatives. In South Korea aims for profitability with technological advancement, and it brings all the elements at one pedestal for development. It also follows OECD principles which includes inclusion, trust between different stakeholders, smart management, etc. for development in smart cities. In India, it aims to include development in fields of citizen perception, e-governance, waste management, water management, transportation, smart energy, smart governance, following sustainable development goals. The fifth parameter is technology. In UK, data protection and GDPR compliance for smart data users is used. South Korea has its own privacy laws incorporated under U-City Act as the Personal Information Protection Act is also enforceable statute for ensuring privacy. Information centers, urban information system has been set up to make technological innovations in compliance with ICT development. Installment of sensors for smart governance is another initiative taken for technological advancement. The idea is to build a safe city on the basis of technology. It's South Korea's smart city model is based on cloud computing and data integration program. In India, Smart Cities mission underlined to develop infrastructure based on technological innovation and use of ICT, but lacks a strategic plan, unlike Korea or UK, to ensure safe and sound connectivity. Privacy laws in India is still in developing phase. There are many initiatives which have been taken by Smart City Development Project, such as Digital India, which ensure e-services, broadband highways, IoTs, etc. Smart cards are the another initiative under smart city development. But at the same time, these initiatives have potential to infringe the privacy of citizens due to lack of stringent penal provisions and regulation of data privacy. Thus, I would like to conclude that after studying all the three nations, it can be concluded that India has a different infrastructure as well as geopolitical scenario as compared to other nations. But many policies of UK smart city development and South Korea's smart city development can be inculcated in the governance structure of India's smart cities mission to achieve the desired results. Thank you.
Great. So thank you very much, Sneha, for this wonderful presentation. So great. Okay, so now it's time for inviting discussants. So Dr. Cavada, please provide your comments and questions to Sneha. So I will give you up to 7 minutes, and I will give you a friendly reminder when the 1 minute is left for your discussion. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation, the wonderful introduction, and Sneha, thank you for this presentation for a subject that, it's been close to my research interest and heart for many years now. I think, after the research that I have done and, the experience I received, what I would advise you to do is to look through the smart city landscape, everything through one lens, right? I think, there's a danger if we start categorizing smartness in smart governance, smart economy, smart people. Everybody has an opinion of the categories, and it doesn't sound really smart if we start breaking things. All things are interdependable. If you try and support the smart economy, then it might affect the smart governance, or the smart governance, and then it will affect the smart people. So I would advise to find, what is the main idea of smart, or what smart means for you from the research that you've done. At some point towards the end, you mentioned that smart is about safety in using technology. If it's that, then it should run throughout your research. So, for example, another thing is that, you should look at, not you should, but it would be interesting from what you mentioned and from your focus to understand what is the governance system of all these places that you are looking at. I looked at Singapore because it has a very different system. It's a nation, but it's also a smart city. And I published a paper to examine if Singapore is really smart. And according to my livability criteria, it's not that smart, because although it has developed all these technological systems, the public is not able to have access to all of them. They need a computer, they need money, they need to be a private company. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure all these IBM's companies and all these big service providers, if they have good societal benefits for everyone. Yes, sure, they can develop technological systems. Yes, they can speak with governance and city governors to implement their systems, but can people use it? Do they understand it? Do they provide benefits? So I think, if you want to bring a societal focus in, maybe the results will surprise you. Maybe, you will see what happens in a very small place in India might be wiser or smarter than what happens in the UK. And this is what, we're trying to achieve with research, to understand all the elements and learn how we can make these places smarter. From my research, being truly smart is being livable, to get the benefits for people, to be able to understand, to be able to be sustainable, to make decisions with governance. So I think if you're looking at governance, see how the governance systems already work, and if you bring, smartness into it, how does then impact business as usual? Does it make life better, or does it provide a stricter environment for governance, a more top-down approach? And then again, what is good about, the smart cities in India? What is good about the smart cities in South Korea or in the UK? Overall, what are the good things? What are the challenges? What things can take from each other? And so what is the main axis that goes through your research? Very interesting. You have collected a lot of information. I think it just need to be more structured and just to the point. What is the point? What are we trying to find? But very good. Thank you.
Great. So, Sneha, do you want to address some comments from the discussant now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, briefly.
So,
Yeah, briefly. Yeah.
basically, this is just a part of my thesis. I have also focused on human-centric approach of smart city development in India, and I have also focused on the infringement of rights of marginalized society, people of India. For example, when we build a highway, it is making India smart, but at the same time, it is occupying lands of poor farmers in India, and these lands, the government as well as private entities, which is merged with the smart cities government, is occupying at a minimal rate, and in other scenario the farmer is going to benefit more if they are using it as an agricultural land. So I am working upon that also, and I am also doing an empirical research on citizens perception, where I'll be talking to people from marginalized society who does not have access, who does not have idea what a smart city is, and I'll note their points and try to form a comprehensive legislation, as India lacks comprehensive legislation in regards to smart cities mission. Thank you.
Great. So, yeah, before going to the peer commentators, so audiences, do you have any quick clarification questions or some questions or comments to the presenter? No. Okay. So then I will invite the peer commentators. So Saloni, so please provide your comments and questions to the presenter, and then I will give you 5 to 7 minutes, and I will give you a reminder when your discussion is 1 minute left. Okay, please.
Thank you. Sneha, thank you. This was a really nice presentation. And I must admit, I am by no means familiar with this topic, but I enjoyed what you talked about. And some things that you said about, the human rights implications of smart cities. I'm sorry, I think my internet just dropped off. But as I was saying, they actually do resonate with me. And I've lived in a smart city myself, in an up and coming smart city. And I do know that there is a huge disconnect between what's being planned and what is actually carried out. And especially the SPVs and the additional bodies, they just further add to the disconnect between people and the actual government. So there is a lot of accessibility issues when it comes to this. Even apps like MyGov and all, they don't really help. They often lead to further inaccessibility. So citizen engagement and smart cities is something that definitely is a very good topic, and I look forward to reading about the results of your further research. Thank you.
Great. So, Sneha, do you want to address something to the peer commentators' question, comments? Nope.
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. So nice. Then I'll now open the floor, for the audiences and guests, participating in today's session. So, audiences, do you have any questions or comments or suggestions, to the Sneha's project? Please feel free to, turn on your mic and say something, please. No? Okay. So, in such a case, it's totally the time for chair to say something. So, okay. So I have like a brief suggestions or comments to the your project. And first of all, thank you very much for this like informative like the presentation. And then now I'm living in South Korea, but I have very little knowledge about the smart city in my country. So so it was very like the eye-opening opportunity for me to like study the how the South Korean government has been working on the smart city project. And then my very like the simple question, but maybe the one of the important concern about doing comparative research is basically the justification of your case selection. So I was wondering why you chose South Korea, India, and the UK in your analysis. Basically, the Smart City project is the so many countries are now developing such a plan, right? Basically, they want to incorporate the ICT into the city development, and then the smart city project is not restricted to those only three countries you are examining. So I was just wondering why you chose these three particular countries for your analysis. I don't know why, because did you do so because those two countries are relatively pioneer in working developing the smart city project in the first place, or you may have some other reasons for like selecting those three cases. So in most comparative research, the researcher should justify the why those cases are selected, and then I believe that you have some good reasons to like to choose those like the particular cases. So you may like elaborate such a thing in your like the thesis, maybe the introduction or something. But I'm just curious.
I would like to mention that there are more comparative study which I have been following upon. That the ma'am mentioned Singapore is one of them because it has ranked first in smart city governance this year. But I won't go into that. I chose three for this presentation, and South Korea. I have studied South Korea's smart cities governance and its development. It was firstly it focused on new cities. Later, it took development phase to all the areas together. And Korea has a development. It is being one of the. It is considered one of the developed nation in the world today. Its development analysis is comprehensive in nature, which is a very symmetrical approach because at all level, it at all the development levels, the project is gone through the mayor and the committee, smart city committee, which has been set up by the government. So it is a good thing that there is a checks and balance procedure in South Korea, and there is less chance of overlapping and conflict, unlike India, because the provisions are verified. Privacy laws are itself verified in Smart City Act, that is UCity Act 2013. So that is why I chose South Korea. The reason for choosing UK was its privacy laws. It follows European privacy laws, and it is considered as the best privacy laws in the world. That is why I chose UK.
Okay, so any other questions or comments from the audiences or the discussant or peer commentator if you miss something to say?
Sorry, can I just mention that the UK has gone through Brexit, so the EU laws do not apply anymore, which is an issue. an interesting issue.
Yeah, but ma'am, they inculcate the provisions, means privacy laws. They go through the privacy laws and adapt all these privacy laws in their smart city governance. Still, despite the fact that it has gone through Brexit and been separated from the EU, but they are the one who make strong privacy laws. That is why.
Great. So any other comments and questions or suggestions? Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me have one more question. So you said that you are interested in like the examining the some human rights like the approach in the smart city, and then you told us that the citizens' perception about the smart city is very important issue. So and then I wanted to like hear more about your like the argument or your opinion about the why citizens perception matters when examining the smart city project, and then how citizens have like the different opinions and viewpoints about the smart city project. So on the one hand, basically the smart city are the project is making the city smaller. So this might be welcomed by the many citizens, but this may be only the partial opinion, I think. So could you introduce some different like the perceptions that the citizens have about the smart city project? Thank you.
Yes, sir. I would like to go on by saying that citizens must have a say in smartness of the city. For example, I just mentioned about the land grabbing by the government or private sector or to make highways or develop cities or metros. That is another issue. Secondly, when we talk about smart city development, poor people's inclusion, that is marginalized society's inclusion, has been not considered by the government. For example, any particular area which is a slum, they would take the land and promise to pay or make a society, but later the land is used for other purposes, and this somehow happens by the government. Not only in India, I feel like it's all other nations' problem altogether. Thirdly, I feel like citizens should have the say that how they want to be smart. For example, let us take Bihar. In Bihar, Madhubani is a place, and its paintings are very famous. So the government should make it smart by selling those paintings, by giving the chance to those poor people to incorporate the smartness and also raise funds through that by making them smart, by pitching their their talent, by showing their talent and incorporating in the smart city governance. In just as in the case of Bhubaneswar smart city, they have included tourism as a main area of smartness. So that is how I feel like human centric approach is very important in the development of smart cities. There are also an environment sustainability issues. Now the projects which are when we talk about smart cities, there are multiple projects, industries, innovation being made. So the clearances are made at what level, it's not clear. The demarcation of all the official government bodies are not clear. So somehow the poor people are the one who are suffering a lot because of that situation. That is how it is very important to look at the and unveil the effects of smart cities, adverse effect of smartness on the poor people and the marginalized society.
Great. Okay, so before wrapping up the session, the your last call. Do you have any questions or comments and suggestions to the presenter?
I think when you mention the marginalized area and what kind of benefits it brings to this, or how the smart agenda can help these people is where the value is for me, and not just imposing, overarching systems of governance onto them. So I think your last point is really very interesting and very valuable.
Great. Okay, so I believe that there's a very fruitful and in-depth discussion between the commentator and the discussant and myself and then the presenter. So I think it was very like a good opportunity for hearing the Sneha's ongoing project, and then this is currently the working project for you. So I hope that you finish this project successfully, and then I hope to see your work in a published form in the near future. Okay, so great. I think we need to wrap up today's the GSM PhD in Progress session. So it has been a while for me to return to this GSD PhD in Progress session, but it was very very welcoming and nice environment to listen to the very promising research projects, and then discuss make a discussion between the scholars and students. It was a very good opportunity. So those who are interested in presenting their work, your work in this is a very good venue. So I hope that many of you will utilize this opportunity. So once again, so thank you, Nauman. He is here. So for organizing this very your PhD in Progress seminar series, and I hope to see you again in the later sessions. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.